Okay, so some of you have been asking me questions about my crush. Most of which are asking who she is. Again, I'm not gonna disclose that. Unless she gives the okay, I'm not gonna disclose it. Which, given the situation, I highly see that happening. I highly doubt seeing that happening. I mean, although I will answer these two particular questions, one of which is something that I haven't really touched on that much, and that's why originally why I have no intention of asking her out, other than her having a boyfriend already, and that's because we've been friends for so long. I met her in 2014. It's 2017 now. And some people have actually asked how I met her, which I mean, I have nothing else to vlog about today, so I guess there's no harm in telling you how I met her, considering very few people were there when I met her, so there's no way people can figure out who she is. Okay, so it was my sophomore year of high school, obviously, and I was still 17 at the time, and I was already crushing on this other girl named Nicole Briggs, and she was my Valentine. But that Valentine's Day, we had a snow day, and I was hanging out with this guy named Casey, who I hate his fucking guts now. But I'm not gonna. But I'm not gonna get into that right now. And we went to this lake. I think it's called Windsgrove Lake. I think that's what it's called. All I know is it has a steep hill, and we went sledding. And Casey was crushing on this girl named my friend Marianne, and he had been crushing on her for 2 years. He kept asking her out, and like a woman with a brain that works, she said no. Even when she had a boyfriend, he kept on asking her out. She said no. Anyway, so he said that he was he was gonna drop me off at Windsgrove Lake because he was underclassman, so he's younger. We walked there. I mean, is what I'm trying to say. And he basically said, "Okay, you slid all you want. I'm gonna go get Marianne." And while they were gone, I went. I was sledding, and I accidentally broke the sled that Casey had brought. But in my defense, I don't see how it happened. I was going straight down, and it formed an L shape. I landed right in a ditch, and the whole thing broke. Well, the back part of it broke. And I was freaking out. I went to the top of the hill. I called Casey, and he said, "Hey, as long as it works, I really don't care." and all that. And then, while I was waiting for him and Marianne to come back, that's when my crush, her little sister, and her older brother came by. And I had seen her brother around school, but I hadn't seen her around school. And her little sister, obviously, was still in middle school at the time, I think. Yeah, she was still in middle school at the time. And I really didn't talk to her that much. And then when Casey and Marianne came back, they kind of gave me a hard time about the sled. But they didn't realize that I was already miserable that day. And then Marianne, and then once we left the lake, we went to, I'm guessing my crush's neighborhood. I really don't remember where we went, but we went to the street, and her older brother and her little sister were sledding, and then me and Casey were waiting for Marianne to come back, and apparently, well, we thought that Marianne ditched us when we later found out she didn't. And then throughout the rest of the year, I briefly talked to my crush, and I kind of felt left out, but mainly because I didn't talk to her very much. And my junior year, I remember I only talked to her once. It was before I got these things. I was complaining about it, and she's just randomly, she's like, "How are you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing?" I said, "Good, besides the fact I'm gonna get braces and it's gonna hurt like hell." I have no idea why I said that. Anyway, so me and her didn't talk again until my senior year when we had oceanography together. And when we cracked jokes, and we had a few laughs and all that, but at the time that this happened, I was crushing on this girl named Taylor Dufresne, and I kind of had this feeling like, wait, because my crush now, at this time, she was sitting in front of me, and I started to think, wait, do I like so and so? I kind of like shrugged it off like it was nothing, and then later, towards the end of that year, when she was signing my yearbook, I don't know why, but I hugged her. And I have no idea why I said this. Oh, yeah, I remember. I really just wanted to see her reaction when I said this. I said this like a brother would say to a sister. I said I love you, and she actually said it back. And then I chalked it up like, oh, it's just brotherly love. Brotherly love. Nothing to it. I started to relax, and then obviously the thing with Taylor didn't work out, and I'll explain that in another video. But anyway, at the end of that class, I gave her a hug and wished her the best of luck for her senior year. And saying I love you to her, well, us saying I love you to each other, that became our thing. Like most of my friends that are female. Believe me. And this is directed to my crush. Okay, so if you ever see this, believe it or not, I went through that exact same experience with Stephanie. not just Stephanie, but quite a few more of my female friends. So if anything, that was just my heart playing tricks on me. I want to get that clear. And then my first year of college, which ended not too long ago, I started crushing on this girl named Anastasia Gudalake. And then after that, kind of like, she said that she was talking to someone already. And Anastasia didn't really give a shit what I did. And these allergies are killing me. Anyway, but Anastasia supported me, and then towards December, I got to the point where, like, I hadn't seen her since September, and it was December at the time that this happened. And I started to think, dude, it's time to move on. I know it's only been a few months, but you have to move on. I'm gonna try my best to not talk to the girl I like now until I knew for a fact whether or not I liked her the way I do now. And then Stephanie gave me the whole "I want you two to be together" speech. And because me and my crush have been friends for so long, I didn't want to risk it. If anything, I wasn't planning on doing anything. I can't stress that enough. I wasn't planning on doing anything at first, but Stephanie talked me into it. And the rest you know. But before I asked my crush to be my Valentine, Stephanie said, whenever you do get around to asking her, if she says no, I'm here for you. Yeah. And so after my crush basically said, sorry, I'm in a relationship, I went through a downward spiral of depression. Not because of the rejection, because me and her kind of talked it out later that day and said, hey, this isn't going to change anything. We're still friends and all that. Obviously, I've lost all right to say I love you to her, obviously. Which really, really sucked at first, but I've gotten used to it. And so there you have it. That's how I met my crush, and that's why I felt the need to full on explain it. So no more questions about my crush, because I've had it. Okay. Anyway, so I'm thankful for her for sticking with me as friends throughout all this. I can't stress this enough. I'm glad that I met you. Now you know why. Anyway, so I'll catch you guys on Wednesday. See you there, y'all.